guys, how's it going? Dexter here, and let's have a look. We are talking about the linear preparation exercise today. This is something, this is kind of sneak peek into my Advanced Fills 1 course, which is kind of getting into these preparation exercises, which are going to help us for these much more advanced linear fills, which we're going to get into. And this one is just all about trying to separate our hands from our feet. And I talk about this a lot because the main issue people get into within their kind of grooves is when they're playing a groove, they can get the bass drum with a hi-hat. But when they have a bass drum that's in between a hi-hat, so a bass drum on its own, that's where they kind of start to crumble. So those kind of grooves aren't accessible until you've got your hand and your right hand and your foot kind of separated out. So this exercise is kind of going a little bit into that in the form of just a kind of standard fill. But by practicing it, it's going to help you just build your coordination and independence so that you're able to play those much more advanced things a little bit later. So to start with, bass drum and crash together, just doing a normal groove, hi-hat on its own, snare drum and hat, crash and snare and then the fill is going to be this. It's going to be right hand on the snare, followed by a bass drum, left hand on the snare, followed by the bass drum, right hand on the snare, followed by a bass drum, left, bass drum. So right, left, with the bass drum in between each note. And then when we repeat that, the tricky thing is you're finishing with a bass drum, but then you've got a bass drum and a crash at the start. So you've actually got two bass drums right next to each other. So right kick, right kick, left kick, kick with a crash to repeat. There we go. So now one thing which some people do get into kind of mess with this is rather than playing right kick, left kick, they'll just be thinking snare kick, and one hand will take it. So to make sure that you're separating them out, a great exercise is just split up the hands and put the right hand on the floor tom. So same exercise, right kick, left kick, left kick, but by having the right hand on the floor tom, you can hear kind of, again, subconsciously, because our brains are going to be so busy playing this, you can hear whether you're going to be doing it wrong. So for example, if you were to play, you'd hear the left hand's playing too many notes, or you'd hear it's not right, because your brain's going to listen out for, with the bass drum in between. So that's where we're kind of going. So that's a little exercise just to help split it up and then bring it back to the snare. It's just going to build our coordination, and you probably sat there on the couch like, yeah, I could do that. It doesn't look that complicated. You'll sit down, you'll do it, and this will happen. And the limbs just don't like it. I've taught this to hundreds of students, and it's always the same. It's just really awkward and nasty. So spending time with it, like I say, this is going to help you just split those hands from those feet so that when we go into some more complicated patterns, those kind of patterns, we'll be able to play them a lot better because our hands and our feet, we've separated them out in our brain. So anyway, putting it back together, crash and snare and right kick, left kick, left kick. That's what we're aiming for. So I'm going to do a short solo now, just demonstrating this in a few different ways and where it's going to take us. Before I do that though, again, just a reminder that this is actually kind of part of this bigger course, this more in-depth course, which goes into this in a lot more detail and is going to give you an absolutely crucial foundation to being able to play these kind of fast linear chops and things. So again, that's available to anyone that's already signed up as a channel member. You can check that out instantly. Anyone that's not, again, you can check that out by clicking that join button, and it gives you all the information and all the stuff that's included with that. Anyway, here we go. And there we go, guys. So a little bit of what you can be looking forward to. So linear preparation, have some fun with that. Check out the Advanced Fills course. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.